Hey everybody, all right, we're gonna get the Ultrachrome plugin up and running. So once you download this zip file and double click the zip, you're gonna end up with two files in here, the registration key, that's just a text file, and the CCX file, that's the plugin itself. The way this works, generally you can double click on these CCX files and it'll open Creative Cloud, but just to be safe, we can always right click and open with Unified Plugin Installer Agent. So that's gonna open Creative Cloud. Ask you for a couple permissions. You need to install it locally. That just means that it's not hosted on the Creative Cloud store. You're getting it directly. Give it the permissions to function on your machine. Then back in Photoshop, you should have the plugin open here, asking for the registration key, which we can copy paste in there and hit register, and we're off to the races. So first thing, we're going to want to select any layer. I'm going to select this text, which is a shape layer, and hit create. And that's going to get us started with some Chrome. So we're here in edit mode, and this is where we have access to all these different controls, starting with, a ton of different color options that we can check out. And then we have, control over just about everything, the size of the bevel, the way this reflection works. We can kind of tilt it and warp it, scale it, move it up and down. We have some control over how bright these highlights are on the edges. So this is where we can just experiment with how we want this to look. It does look a little bit crunchy right now in edit mode, and you can see there's a little warning icon here. Right now this document is in 8-bit color. If I do push it up to 16-bit, it's gonna give us a much smoother preview. Whether it's an 8-bit or 16 won't make a difference once we go over to finish mode, which is gonna kind of smooth everything out and give it a nice high resolution quality, but it's kind of nice to be working in 16-bit just because it looks better. If we have some settings dialed in that we like and we want to apply them to multiple different text layers or objects, right now I can just grab this other text layer and these settings are already kind of queued up, so I can create another object with these same settings. But let's say I reset that, so we have two things with completely different settings. I can always copy one and paste it onto another object. Continue to kind of dial things in. And once I have a look that I like, I can hit finish. And finish is going to give you a nice smooth kind of final output. It's going to convert everything into two layers, two smart objects. One of them is kind of the main Ultrachrome layer, and the other one is just for those edge highlights. And those are set to add mode. That's why it's on a different layer. If at any point you want to go back and edit your settings with either that highlights layer or the main layer selected, you can hit edit, and that's going to take us back into an editable form. We've also got this little feature up here, the lens flare gallery, and that's just got about a dozen lens flares. You click on any of these, it's just going to drop in a lens flare on a new layer. By default, it's set to screen mode, but some of these look kind of cool if they're also set to add mode. And the lens flares can give it just a little bit of final detail. All right, well, that is the Ultrachrome plugin, kind of at a first glance. I'm excited for you guys to check it out. Happy holidays to you. Thanks for being a part of the Texture Labs Patreon. I really appreciate you guys, and I will see you soon.